Hello, everybody. Welcome to another Uno Tech Byte. This time we will look at a new control called CommandBarFlyout, which will be included with Uno Platform 6.1. So let's jump into Visual Studio. So in here, I have a very, very simple application with just a single button, which currently doesn't do anything. But we will enhance it with the new CommandBarFlyout. And to do that, I will actually launch the application here on desktop so that we can see what is happening when we do changes. So if I click now, nothing happens. But with the power of hot reload, I will be able to add the CommandBarFlyout while the application is running. So I will write here button.flyout, and inside of that flyout, I will include the new CommandBarFlyout. So when I save the changes, you can see it's already doing something. It's showing up this 3 dots button, which is not that interesting, but it's going to be more interesting when we start adding more content in it. So the first thing you can do is to add various buttons. So I will add a new app bar button with a label of, for example, share and icon of share. And then if I close this, this will be a new command that will show up on the CommandBarFlyout. But the CommandBarFlyout has 2 sections: the primary commands, which are on the top, and secondary, which are inside of the secondary menu. So I can also add a secondary commands section and add some buttons there. So I can do, for example, a button called copy with icon of copy. And now if I save the changes and hot reload kicks in, we should be able to see the CommandBarFlyout showing up here, giving me this nice share command and also a copy command. I can open and close this, and I can actually, to make it nicer, I can set the placement to the right of the button, so it's kind of not covering the button when I click it. So now you can see it's showing up here, and you can have this nice commanding area where you can make some specific commands inside of your application show up. And this is very adjustable. You can add multiple different commands there. So I can add even like a label delete. So I can delete. And you can actually use your own icons with bitmap icons and so on. And you can also add additional commands in the secondary section and even add some separators. So if you have some logical groupings of commands, you can do something like this. So a bar separator and then a bar button label, for example, help with an icon of help. So if I save the changes now, you will see that all that was applied with hot reload. So now we have this nice commanding area with a copy command, help command, and additional commands here. And we can even collapse it and expand it. And if you want this to be always expanded, you can also set the always expanded to true, and that will make the 3 dots button disappear. So it's always going to look like this with all the commands visible. So this is kind of a short introduction to the CommandBarFlyout, but there's one more thing I wanted to show you, which is pretty cool, because when you're adding these command bar buttons, it's kind of hard to keep it all localized and internationalized to all the languages that you support. And for those default commands like delete, copy, save, and so on, there is a simple way to do it. So you can actually delete this, and inside of the app bar button, you can add a command and then set it to XAML UI command, which is a representation for some basic commanding in your UI. But actually, we can use standard UI command here. And the standard UI command has a kind property, which has a list of some kind of default commands that you can use in your application, including, for example, the copy command here, which is what we had before, but now it's provided by Uno platform with all the localization and all the internationalization built in. So if I click now, you can see the text is now set to copy, and you get even this nice tooltip that tells the user what this command is doing. And you don't have to localize anything. It's all provided by default for all the languages that Uno platform supports, which is super useful. And the nice thing about this is as well that it supports the keyboard shortcut. So it can be triggered using the Control C command on your keyboard. So this is a very simple way to include some standard commands inside of your CommandBarFlyout. So finally, if you want to add the logic to handle these commands, you can add a click handler, which will then be in your code behind and will react to the clicking of those app bar buttons. Or you can also set a MVVM or MVUX based command and data bind it. So you can have something like my command here and then handle the click or tapping on that specific button inside of your CommandBarFlyout. So that's about it. So I hope this was interesting and useful. There will be a link to all the documentation for this control on the description of this video, so you can see more information on how the CommandBarFlyout can be used and how it can be customized. But that will be all from me for today, and the next time we will look at something else. So see you in the next Step Byte.